Good afternoon and good evening. Welcome to the Capitol Center, where tonight the Capitol women's basketball team will play host to the Wilmington College Quakers in a rematch of their game from yesterday, in which the Quakers were victorious by a comfortable margin as well, winning that one 77-60. So Capitol will look for some revenge here tonight. I'm Jimmy Bloomfield. Welcome into the Byers Airport Subaru pregame show, where we will take a look around the OAC and get Coach Jeffers' thoughts on the game yesterday and the season overall to this point. Now just 3 games in, but we are already into the February part of the schedule and the OAC tournament looming at the start of March. It's a very short season, obviously, so you got to fix things quickly, and we'll get her thoughts on that and get to the starting lineups and break down the matchup yesterday. Again, leading the way for the Crusaders was the combination of Emma Burns and Brooke Almert. They combined to score 26 points, the only 2 players in double figures. Kaylee Cyphers got the start in the place of Erica Linder, and she had a very good start of her season here with that split against Heidelberg. It was a big reason they won that one game this season. So she gets inserted in the starting lineup and then was only able to get 2 shots up, had 4 personal fouls, and scored just 1 point. She got into foul trouble, and that really changed the game for Capitol yesterday. They did get 3 threes from Emma Burns, but that's about the only, with Almert's 11, about the only positive we could find from the offense in the game, in which Capitol shot just 32%. On the other side, the Binkley twin sisters, they're seniors now, and we've been dealing with them for 4 years now, and they are a tough duo. Michaela is the 4th leading scorer in the conference. She had a pretty quiet game, actually, though. Yesterday, she had just 7 points, but she is averaging 14.8 on the season. Her sister Hannah, however, was a problem, 15 points and 10 rebounds. She had a double-double in just 30 minutes played. The 2 Binkley sisters combining for 22 points on 5 of 15 shooting. They got there at the free throw line, 8 of 8 at the stripe, and they were also 4 of 7 from three-point line. So that'll be the story today. Can Cyphers stay out of foul trouble, and can this Capitol offense kind of lean on her a little bit, and will they be able to stop the Binkley sisters? When we come back, we will break down the OAC standings up to date and sit down with head coach Dixie Jeffers here on the Byers Airport Subaru pregame show.
New vehicles, reliable pre-owned vehicles, top-notch, high-quality service technicians, and friendly, trustworthy sales associates dedicated to customer service. Byers Airport Subaru in Columbus is ready to get you into the vehicle that you were meant for. Stop by to see our selection at 401 North Hamilton Road in Columbus and take a test drive, or call Byers Airport Subaru at 877-265-9695 today. Byers Airport Subaru is a proud supporter of Crusader Athletics. Subaru, confidence in motion.
And welcome back to the Byers Airport Subaru pregame show. Before we get to our OAC standings, what if I could tell you a college course that not only required textbooks but courage, determination, and a good pair of boots, a course that would lead directly to a career as a leader, not an intern or an assistant. Are you ready to become a student and a leader? Then join Capitol University ROTC. You can enroll and get a full tuition scholarship, and you'll graduate a leader and officer in the United States Army. To learn more about Army ROTC, call 614-236-6808. That's 614-236-6808, or visit capitol.edu/ROTC to learn more about the Capitol University Army ROTC. Well, the OAC does have a full slate of games tonight. It'll be Mount Union at Otterbein, Muskingum at Marietta, Wilmington at Capitol, Ohio Northern at Heidelberg, and Baldwin Wallace at John Carroll, the big one tonight, featuring the leading scorer in the OAC. And that would, of course, be Nicole Heffington. She's averaging 20.8 points per game. I mentioned Binkley is 4th. Elena Rao is 3rd from Mount Union. We are used to hearing that name as well. And Lily Edwards from Baldwin Wallace is also averaging 18 points per game. So there are some pretty good players still hanging around in this OAC, that young sophomore class, when a lot of these players started to break out, the Binkley twins, Heffington and all them. were pretty much in their first and second years is when they started to splash, was that sophomore year. And now they're all seniors and playing really good basketball. John Carroll is 5-0 as a result of Heffington and her teammates' strong play. Baldwin Wallace, Marietta, and Otterbein and Wilmington all tied for second right now at 3-2. Ohio Northern is 2-3. Capital and Muskingum are tied at 1-2. And Heidelberg and at the bottom right now at 1-4 each. The OAC tournament will start again the first week of March. And there is no postseason tournament in the NCAA, unfortunately, this season, with too many schools not being even playing basketball right now. But we will have a OAC champion crowned at the end of the year, at year's end. So the way for that format is set up again. The top 4 teams will get a home game, and the top the 7, 10, and 8, 9 teams will have to play into the tournament in that first round. So the top 6 teams in a way get a bye, and then the top 4 teams would host the quarterfinal, and obviously the lower seed from that point on would be the host. I'm not certain on the reseeding of the tournament. It's a different format this year, but as far as the way things set up, you want to be in that top 6 at least, so you can not have to play in that first game against a 7, 10, or 8, 9 matchup. Right now, Capital currently sits tied for 7th, but they're 1-2, and there's teams ahead of them at 2-3 and 3-2. So they're right there in the thick of things. A win today with Wilmington would actually pull them even, because Wilmington would be 500 at 3-3. Capital would be 2-2. And the tie-breaking situation is going to be interesting this year, as if every team doesn't have the same amount played, then it's going to be obviously a little bit different to try to sort through that. Capital and Muskingum are the only 2 teams that haven't played a full schedule to this point on the women's side. The men's side is kind of more of a mess with the COVID situation. So hopefully we stay clean on the women's side the rest of the way through and are able to have a pretty solid sample of which to form a tournament at the beginning of March. We sat down with head coach Dixie Jeffers earlier today to get her thoughts on the season to this point and get the updates from the head coach herself. So let's get you that interview now. And when that is over, we will have pretty much be close to basketball action. Tip-off and starting lineups will be coming right up. 6 minutes until tip here at the Capitol Center.
Welcome to the Coach's Corner in the Byers Airport Subaru pregame show. I'm Ryan Gasser, and sitting down with head coach of the women's basketball team, Dixie Jeffers. Coach Jeffers, last night, not the best night, a loss 77-60 on the road at OAC foe Wilmington College. Talk to us a little bit about that game. The stats say one thing. What did you see out there on the floor?
I think the stats pretty much tell the truth. When you get out-rebounded as much of a margin as we did last night, we were lucky we only lost by 17. We had the shots. I thought for the most part, there were times we didn't take good shots and we hurted our offense, but overall, our shots were very, very good. We just didn't hit them. And when you don't hit shots, you're going to tend to let down defensively. And so then that started. And then their pressure got into our kids' heads and so forth. And it was physical, and things just didn't go our way. It's a tough place for us to play, but we got to figure out a way to rebound tonight, and no pun intended, but it does start on the glass.
So you kind of predicted that this was going to be a very run-and-gun style game, at least on the side of Wilmington. Did that play true, and was that part of maybe the wear and tear that led to the result?
Yeah, we did not stay with our game plan. We started to let them speed us up. We started to play their style, and our style is not their style. And so we have to stay very disciplined, and we have to run a quarter-court offense and make them play defense instead of letting them just do what they want to do offensively.
So this year, different than most years, we've gone down this road before, but especially going up against a run-and-gun type team, you got to wonder if Wilmington can do that 2 consecutive nights in a row. Do you believe that they can, and how do you stop them from possibly trying to pull that off?
I definitely think that they can get up and down the floor. They play a ton of kids that all come in and play hard. Janelle's doing a great job coaching them this year in the absence of Coach Sheevy, and those kids are responding, and they do a really nice job with the dribble drive. It fits their style. It's the right offense for what they have in the program, and they have a lot of depth with there. And so what do we got to do? We've got to take away that dribble drive, and we've got to make them stay on the outside and try to beat us from the outside.
Now, some of the players that we've been talking about up to this point didn't quite come and put up the numbers that you wanted to see last night. So what's going to be key in turning that around and getting players like Kaylee Cyphers, Caroline Taphorn back in the game and having a good, fresh start to the game tonight?
Well, it's about a mental preparation. And I think what people don't realize is how difficult what we're doing is. So difficult. I'm not making excuses because everybody's doing it, but you were playing a season when we're in preseason. And so you're going to see different styles of basketball right now, and it resembles a pickup type game where it becomes a track meet. I don't want to be in a track meet. I want to value the basketball, and we got to do things right. And if these kids come with the mindset of staying with the game plan, digging in, and keep digging in, they're going to be okay.
So talk to us, Coach. Just some very generic keys to victory. Obviously, we know that you have to slow down Wilmington, but for you on your side of the ball, what are some things that the Crusaders have to do in order to come away with the W?
We have to be strong with the basketball. We cannot get caught like we did last night of just standing. We became just standing on the floor. If you're going to stand after you miss shots, or you're just going to stand and not reverse the basketball and get some touches on offense, then you're playing right into a team like this hands. And we played right into their hands last night. And no matter what I tried to do, our kids really lost focus, and we can't lose focus tonight.
And for our viewers out there that may not have gotten to see last night's game, can you give us a player or two on the Wilmington side that we need to be cognizant of, that we either need to shut down or that might disrupt some things for you tonight?
Well, the Binkley twins are always a threat. They're going to get their shots up no matter what. So they're always a threat. Zahara Bailey had a really good game last night. She's quick, she's fast. And then you got Lewis, the point guard, too. They got some nice kids that can do a lot of things, and they complement one another, and they play well together.
All right, well, thank you very much, Coach, for the insight today, and good luck this evening against the Quakers. You're listening to the Coach's Corner here on the Byers Airport Subaru pregame show. I'm Ryan Gasser, and we'll kick it back out to Jimmy Bloomfield as we roll along and get closer to tip-off.
Thank you, Ryan. And yes, we are close to tip-off as we're about to go through our pregame announcements and ceremony here in the stadium. So we will step away for a brief moment and come back with your starting lineups and opening tip here from the Capitol Center.
Where will you live your purpose? Not in a refuge from the real world. The university anchored in the center of Ohio is at the epicenter of possibility, purpose, and the power of purple. There's no time for hesitation here. No need to put things neatly into boxes. Just the need to nurture the role you were born for, no matter who you are. We believe that engagement is as important as education, that curiosity is as important as the classroom. And when given the chance, we do more, not less. Surrounds us. We're a coalition of the willing, an alliance of the ready, a union of the good. We're from Capitol, and our purpose is purpose.
Army ROTC is one of the best leadership courses in the country and can be a part of your college curriculum. As a potential or current student at Capitol University, learning to become a leader will make your college experience even richer and prepare you for the future. Capitol Army ROTC can provide scholarships and many more benefits to those who enroll, but the biggest benefit will be experienced firsthand after joining. For more information on Capitol Army ROTC, testimonials, and an in-depth look at what the program can offer you, go to www.capitol.edu/ROTC.
And welcome into the Capitol Center Let's get to today's starting lineup and put an end to the Byers Airport Subaru pregame show. We'll start with the Wilmington Quakers again at 3-2, coming off the win over Capital yesterday. They have an interim head coach, Janelle Blankenspor, leading the way, and she is assisted by Casey LaVisca and Kyle Gray. For the Quakers, it is the 5'3" junior guard out of Dayton, Ohio, Kennedy Lewis. The 5'10" senior guard out of Lynchburg, Ohio, Michaela Binkley. And the 5'10" senior guard out of Lynchburg, Ohio, her twin sister Hannah Binkley. 5'10" forward out of Marysville, Ohio, Haley Cook. Cook is a freshman. And the 5'10" senior out of Cincinnati, Ohio, forward Michelle Lee. So Lewis, Binkley, Cook, Binkley, and Lee, the 5 starting for Wilmington. For your Crusaders coming into this one at 1-2, led by head coach Dixie Jeffers in her 35th year, with Jason Wright and Molly Brennan assisting her. She will send out the 5'7" junior guard out of Westerville, Ohio, Emma Burns. The 5'4" senior guard out of Northwood, Ohio, Allison Roach. The 5'9" senior guard out of Harrison, Ohio, Caroline Taphorn. Playing the 4 today is the junior out of Wakeman, Ohio, Brooke Amert. And the last starter, the 6'2" forward out of Cedarville, Ohio, sophomore, and reigning Crusader of the Week, Kaylee Cyphers. So it's Burns, Roach, Taphorn, Amert, and Cyphers for Coach Jeffers tonight. The Crusaders in their home white uniforms, the new unis this year, will be moving from right to left to start things off. And the Quakers are in the visiting green uniforms. These teams do not like each other. This is one of the bigger rivalries. Obviously, the Capital Otterbein rivalry is the biggest one around campus here. But these two teams, in terms of the women's basketball teams of these two schools, do not like each other. And one of Capital's biggest rivals. And that could bring some extra intensity into this one today. We'll see if that's the case. Cyphers in the circle against Cook, and it is won by Cook, back to Lewis, the point guard, and we are underway here at the Capitol Center. Wilmington likes to get into that kind of track meet, up-tempo style. They shoot with just 7 seconds into their possession there, as Michaela Binkley misses to start things off, and Emma Burns will run the first set here for the Crusaders. Burns moves to her left, guarded by Lewis, kicks over to Amert now. Amert at the top of the key, bounce pass. Got into foul trouble in the game yesterday. She played just 16 minutes. She started and only got 2 shots up, but she had 4 fouls. Pass goes into Roach as we reset here. The foul goes against number 33, Michelle Lee. Roach driving to the free throw line, pump fakes, and now will step into a shot, no good. On the rebound going to Michaela Binkley the other way. Lewis on a quick give and go, bounces through the lane, easy layup, and Wilmington will score first. On the bench, meanwhile, Coach Jeffers just sat down with 5 players, grouped them into a huddle, and went over something on the blackboard to break down some kind of play. Cyphers for 3, left it short. Amert the offensive rebound, so interesting to see if Coach will elect to go with a mass substitution early in this one, or not exactly sure what that was. Amert, extra pass to Taphorn, down to Roach, and 3 in the key is called against Cyphers. Well, Capital does not get things working early on. We're about a minute and a half in. It is 2-0 Wilmington, and they make their first substitution already as Lee comes out. She had picked up the foul. Elise Carpenter will check in for her instead. Wilmington on the offensive attack now. Into the right corner. 3 ball, no good from the other Binkley sister, Hannah Binkley, who had a double-double in last night's game. Taphorn almost walks, gets it over to Burns. Burns on the left wing. Inside to Amert, looking for Cyphers, kicks back out. Burns wanted to shoot, didn't have it. And they'll try the other side to Roach. Cyphers is fouled. Wow, that is a touchy call. against Elise Carpenter. That's already 2 quick ones on Wilmington. About 2 minutes in. Oh, that's a dangerous pass by Taphorn. And a foul is called on Cyphers as she tried to lob it in to Cyphers. So Taphorn's decision to throw it, that inbound pass high to Cyphers, leads to a quick foul against Kaylee. First foul for Capital. And another turnover for Capital, unfortunately. Ball goes inside to Binkley, back out to her sister Hannah. And they'll swing it around to the left side now. Carpenter, top of the key to Haley Cook. Handoff to Lewis. Binkley inside to Michaela. Back out to Hannah. Hannah Binkley for 3, no good. And offensive rebound is going to turn into a foul, as crashing hard on the boards was Haley Cook, and Cyphers draws the contact for Capital. So that's 3 fouls already for Wilmington, and we're not even 3 minutes into this game. Full court pressure turned on by the Quakers now. Taphorn jump pass over to Burns. She's wide open for 3. Yes. Capital with the lead, 3-2. Emma Burns knocks down her first triple of the day. And then quickly trying to push the pace is Lewis, and she overthrows Binkley down low. Leads to another quick turnover. Hannah Rickman will check in. She's a familiar name, a senior for Wilmington, and a timeout taken quickly here by Coach Blankensport. It's going to be a quick 30 timeout, so we'll stay here for 30 seconds. 3-2, Capital with the lead on the shot from Emma Burns. The Crusaders lost again yesterday, 77-60, and it wasn't a great game shooting for Capital, 32% from the field. They also had 17 turnovers in the game. They actually won the turnover battle by a count of 20-17, so they were +3, but the rebounding, -16, 48 rebounds for Wilmington to just 32 on their side. And when you're out-rebounded a 3-2 clip, that is going to be a problem. And it reared its ugly head yesterday. So Capital looking to get more control of the game in this one. And to this point, they've been better. A few minutes in, but playing good defense, and some of these shots maybe starting to fall for them as Amert's underneath, and there's another basket for Capital. So Brooke Amert will get going. She gets her first basket, and Capital leads 5-2. The defense has been turned on to this point. Coach Jefferson in our pregame interview that it starts with the effort on the glass. Oh, Lewis with a nice save to keep that in play. Binkley now has it. Binkley calling for a clear out. Capital helping with a little bit of a zone defense look here, causing Wilmington to shoot. Taphorn pokes it away and gets the steal for the Crusaders. Pushing the tempo to Burns. Emma will back out. Guarded by Binkley. Good screen from Amert. Turns into a jump shot from the free throw line. No good. Hannah Binkley actually make that Michaela Binkley with the rebound. Binkley working against Taphorn. Kicks out to her sister for 3. Yes, Hannah Binkley connects from 3. 5-5 is our score. 4 minutes in. Emma Burns as they quickly break the pressure. Roach calls for a screen, lost the ball, and stepped on the end line. Nope, I'm sorry, she was fouled. Fouled by Michaela Binkley. That is her first. That is a 4th team foul already. Zaria Bailey will check in, the backup point guard. I believe Michelle Lee came back in. Kalias Jones, sophomore guard, checks back in for Wilmington as well. And Melisha Miller. So they actually no starters out there, with the exception of Michelle Lee, who came back in after picking up that early foul. So she's the only starter out there right now for Wilmington. Capital still has their starting 5. Roach lost it. And it's picked up by Wilmington sprinting the other way. Nice cut to the basket there. No finish there, but the follow-up is good from Lee. That initial cut was by Kalias Jones, and she just sliced right through the lane. Capital trying to push the pressure up the floor here on this full court look, and trying to break the time as quick as possible before the Wilmington press gets set up. Making a clear effort to do that. Checking in for Capital is Erica Linder. She's a sophomore out of Prospect, Ohio, becoming more of a sixth man for this team, with Cyphers moving into the starting lineup in her spot to get a little bit larger too. Cyphers will check out, by the way. Checking in is Maggie Duguid, who had a pretty good game yesterday. Checking in for Cyphers with the foul situation. Duguid ended up playing 24 minutes, and she had 6 points, the freshman out of Cincinnati. First free throw for Amert is good. Capital's in the bonus, which could be a big story here in the first quarter, as we have 5.5 minutes left to play still. And each foul, Capital is going to get 2 free throws. So a chance for them to just sit down, play good defense, and grind out some points at the free throw line. We'll see how they play this out. At the top of the key, it's Kalias Jones. Over to Zaria Bailey. Lee tiptoeing the line. She loses it, trying to get it out to Ellen Nilback, who checked in. Nilback out of Sweden. More on that in a moment. As Taphorn drives into the paint and lays it in off the glass. 9-7 Capital. I mentioned Nilback out of Helsingborg, Sweden. Their soccer team as well has been recruiting hard out of Sweden, and they have somewhat of an international pipeline, I guess, for the Quakers. 3 ball from Bailey, no good. And the rebound tipped in the air by Jones. Putting it back up is Miller, and Miller is fouled. Malaysia Miller fouled by Taphorn, who is a little bit slow to get up. 2 shots coming. It's Taphorn's first. So here's Malaysia Miller. Miller misses the first free throw. She played just 3 minutes in yesterday's game, 0 for 1 from the field. And these are her first free throw attempts on the season. Now 0 for 1. Second free throw is up and good. Capital leads 9-8. Wilmington will get to set up in their full court pressure. Amert coming back to help out. And with the help of Duguid and Amert, they cross the timeline. Duguid goes right to the basket, and that's an easy bucket for the Crusaders. The freshman Duguid starting to settle in. Her and Cypher's going to be splitting the minutes at the 5, it looks like. Now she gets a block on this end. Duguid swatting away from Bailey. Taphorn in transition, gets the bucket to go, and the foul. Taphorn with 4. She'll head to the stripe, and the Crusaders lead 13-8. That's Michelle Lee's second foul as well. Cyphers will check in for Amert, so they're going with a twin tower look now, as they have 2 6-footers in the game. Taphorn's free throw completes the 3-point play. Capital leads by 6. Roach will check in for Taphorn. She gets a nice high five from teammates and Coach Jeffers. Anna Binkley replaces Miller, meanwhile, on the Wilmington side. 14-8 as Coach Blankensport calls out the next play for Wilmington across the timeline. It goes inside, and now Bailey with a backdoor cut, and she slipped right through. No one saw her, and the 5-3 Bailey able to get to the bucket. Linder over to Burns. Burns across the timeline, stolen away by Bailey, but she steps on the line. Coach Jeffers called out that Bailey had a nice game yesterday in the pregame interview, and that this girl can really move. And she played 15 minutes and obviously got the attention of Coach Jeffers. She had 4 assists and 5 rebounds in 15 minutes played. Also had 6 points. Linder will throw it in, a full shot clock for Capital. And Duguid gets it over to Roach. So I guess they ruled Bailey stole it and stepped out, so they get a fresh reset of the clock. Cyphers inside, 3 people guarding Dogood, and that's enough apparently as it's left short. Haley Cook with the rebound for the Quakers. Bailey down the baseline. Extra pass, 3 ball. Too much from Jones. Sliding in for the rebound was Cook. And Wilmington will reset here. Just 12 to work with on the shot clock. Handoff dribble to Binkley. And now with it again is Cook. Back to Binkley. She traveled. Missed the shot anyway. Capital will go back to the bench. Demi Brewer out of Plain City, Ohio, checks in. She replaces Burns. So it's Brewer, Roach, Linder, Dogood, and Cyphers. And Cyphers actually brings it across and gives off to Roach, who will run the offense. Roach, the senior, out of Northwood, Ohio. Linder going around a screen, back to Roach. Roach calls for a screen from Cyphers now. Looks inside. They swing it around to Linder for 3. That looks good. It is. Erica Linder knocking it down from outside. She connects on the triple, gives Capital a 17-10 lead. And then good defense, too, from Erica. She pokes that one out. She is drawing a tough matchup on Hannah Binkley right now. Linder listed at 5'5". She's guarding the 5'10" Hannah Binkley right now. Capital had been playing a little bit of a zone look as well, so could be part of the reason she was matched up there, as that pass was high and through the baseline. Wilmington will be able to set up, but Capital will take that trade-off, up by 7 right now with 2.5 minutes to play in the first quarter. A very different style of what we saw from yesterday's matchup, where Capital struggled to a 77-60 loss. Capital did win the first quarter as Binkley gets a steal and finish on this side. They did win the first quarter 15-14, but then were outscored in each of the last 3 quarters of the contest yesterday. They seem to have a little bit more grip on this game, but as I said that, they just turned the ball over and gave Binkley an easy layup. Now Binkley swats it away. It goes right to Linder. She goes right back inside to Roach. Out to Brewer for 3. No good. And great effort on the rebound by number 25, Haley Cook. She was kind of arm barring, but was able to shield herself to the rebound, and then Capital takes it right back anyway. Capital will slow it down here wisely. Dogood back out to Roach. Brewer swings it up to the high side to Linder. Good minutes from the bench here from Capital as they're starting to be more consistent. Here we are in game 4. Both teams look gassed right now. That ball goes out of bounds. Checking in for Capital, 3 players. Brooke Amert, Caroline Taphorn, and Maddie Reese checks in. So 3 reinforcements for Capital, who again looked absolutely gassed. That sequence there, Roach trying to get to that ball, and she's like, it's going out of bounds, whatever. Meanwhile, the same 5 stay out there from Wilmington. It's their starting 5, and they are tired. The only difference from their starting 5 would be Brooke Stover in the spot of Michelle Lee, who's in foul trouble with 2 fouls. 7 to shoot. Binkley takes it away again. She has her twin sister cutting. She's fouled by Roach. Are they going to count the basket? I don't think so. The foul's on Roach. And they're going to call it on the floor, so not even free throws. Yeah, that would make sense, as it's either going to be an and one situation or she's going to have the foul on the floor. Now the officials are talking about changing this call, I believe. And now they're discussing the shot clock, I believe, with 20 seconds on the shot clock. 27 is going to be the reset on the clock. So there's a 17-second differential between shot and game clock. Wilmington can get a quick 2-for-1 if they're fast about it. Reese, as Capital had a foul to give, fouls here. As Reese is first. Capital cannot foul now. It'll go into the double bonus. And credit Wilmington, who went into the bonus at the 5:34 mark as Duga gets a swat. Capital didn't get to the free throw line after that 5th foul. So really good job by Wilmington to make Capital earn it. But they've knocked down some shots here in the second part of this quarter to give themselves a 17-12 lead. Reese skips into the lane, back out to Taphorn, and Taphorn will now reset. 8 on the shot clock. Taphorn gets a screen, and they're going to call an illegal screen. Wow. That is on Amert. No comment. 17-12. Shot clock is turned off. Wilmington trying to get set up, and they will roll the ball up to the timeline here. Picked up by Lewis, and Wilmington with a chance to make it a one-possession game. Capital has the possession arrow to start next quarter. Lewis, a behind-the-back dribble, kick out. Binkley inside. Rickman, 3 to shoot, 2 to shoot. Jump ball, which is good, I guess, because it goes to Capital, but you'd rather time just expire there, as now Wilmington will get to keep the ball to start the next quarter. Passes inbounded to Amert. That'll do it for the first quarter. Capital leads 17-12. We'll be right back with the second quarter action here from the Capital Center.
Capital University presents The Good Guarantee. The Good Guarantee promises families who work for nonprofits or in public service will never have to pay more than 50% tuition based on their total amount of financial aid. This includes your talent, merit, and need-based aid. You can live on campus or at home, it's renewable for up to 8 semesters, and you can study any major and minor. Current students can apply too. You qualify if you or your spouse or your parent or guardian work for a nonprofit or public service organization and you are a full-time undergrad. Because we want to create purposeful people, courageous community, and hopeful humanity. The world needs more good. The world needs you. You invest in others, we invest in you. For more information, visit capital.edu/good-guarantee.
Welcome back to the Capital Center. Crusaders ahead in this one, 17-12. Had pretty good control of this first quarter of action, and they will start this quarter with the starting 5, I believe. Yep, that's Burns in there. So the starting 5 for Capital. On the other side, a little bit of a different look. Kennedy Lewis is in there, Zaria Bailey, Haley Cook, Elise Carpenter, and Hannah Binkley. Starts on the bench with Michaela being the 5th out there for Wilmington. Michaela has it here, and that's just good scoring from Binkley, excuse me. Finishing for Wilmington's first basket. Now they take it away. The combination of Cook and Binkley there, and Michaela back to the stripe for 2 shots. Omert picks up the foul, which I believe is going to be her second. First free throw, no good. Dugood getting ready to come back in, likely for Amert, who picked up that second foul.
Re-entering for the Crusaders, 34, Maddie Dugood.
They've been asking Dugood to play a lot of minutes here in this one. Crusaders lead by 2 now, 17-15 after the Binkley free throw. Kayla's been all over the floor. Dugood from Taphorn, a quick answer from Capital. Some score updates around the OAC. Marietta leads Muskingum right now 28-20. Ohio Northern leading Heidelberg 22-16. Both of those games in the second quarter. Lewis to Binkley, 4-3, no good. Back iron, rebound, it's going to be tapped out and collected by Lewis. Haley Cook has had a strong first quarter and minutes of the second quarter here. Binkley has it again. She is getting all the usage right now, and she knocks down a long two. Wilmington leading Mount Union by a score of 22-21, and John Carroll behind 7 points from Nicole Heffington lead. Baldwin Wallace 24-15. Allison Roach spins it home for Capital. They've getting some easy baskets in transition here, and Wilmington doesn't mind that. They want a high-style, high-paced game, and unfortunately that's going to lead to some easy baskets when you play that way sometimes. A jump ball is called on that sequence as Burns got her hand on it for a block, and it turns into a jump ball. It's an interesting call there. Linder checks in for Roach.
Back in for Wilmington. Number 15, Ellen
Nilbeck back in for Wilmington. She's the player out of Sweden. Cleus Jones checks in as well for Wilmington in their rotational switch. Linder, no look pass over to Burns. Burns knocked down a three earlier in this game. The first basket for Capital, hasn't hit since. Taphorn has, and she gets another bucket here. Tap's playing well in this one.
15, Ellen Nilbeck, the foul for the Quakers. Her first team's first. Capital substitution, 25, Gabby
Ledbetter checks in for the first time as Taphorn now sits at 7 points. And she makes it 8 with the free throw. Michaela Binkley, the leading scorer right now on the other side with 5 points. Make that 7 with that last basket. Binkley has it again and can't get it to connect here. Nilbeck with the rebound. Cook throws up a miss. Nilbeck's there again for the miss. And now gets it off to Binkley, who can't hit again. So 3 or 4 tries there for Wilmington, but they come up empty. Burns to Ledbetter from the free throw line, and Gabby Ledbetter connects. 26-17. That's the largest lead of the game now for the Crusaders. And another ball thrown away by Wilmington. That is now their 10th turnover, with just 6:40 to play in the second quarter. Brewer replacing Burns. Capital shooting 58% right now, 10 for 17, including 2 of 4 from 3. Wilmington is at 7 of 20, 35%, and they're 1 for 7 from outside. And they're in the midst of a scoreless drought of 154. 1 for their last 6 from the field. Capital in the midst of a 7-0 run over that scoreless time for Wilmington. Taphorn goes flying out of bounds. Not sure what happened there. And she's a little bit slow to get down the floor. Meanwhile, with numbers, a foul is called as Cassidy Lovett tries to go for the shot here.
Her first team's shot. It's a shooting foul at the line for the Quakers. 20, Cassidy Lovett.
Foul goes against Maddie Dugood. Coach Jeffers doesn't agree. Now with Nilbeck checks out, Elise Carpenter back in. First free throw, no good from Cassidy Lovett. Lovett now 2 for 6 from the free throw line this season. Taphorn appears to be okay. Throws it into Dugood. Dugood to Taphorn. Taphorn playing a little bit angry right now after being thrown into the sidelines last sequence. Sometimes that's a good thing, sometimes it's not. See which way it goes today. Ledbetter is fouled. Foul is going to go against Elise Carpenter. That's her second. Checking in is Brooke Stover now, the freshman. Michelle Jones already in foul trouble for Wilmington. Burns checks back in for Taphorn. And Coach Jeffers will have a word. Amert in foul trouble for the Crusaders. She has 2. Pass goes into Linder. We're calling an illegal screen again. Yeah, wow. That's the 4th or 5th illegal screen we've seen in this one.
34, Maddie Dugood, her second team start.
Dugood second, so Cyphers will have to come in. Ledbetter will get extended run now,
Crusaders 24, Kaylee Cyphers.
unless Capital elects to go small. Dugood and Taphorn talking it out. 26-18. Game has kind of hit a slow point in terms of scoring on each side, and a little bit of a drought each way. 3 ball, no good from Hannah Binkley. Rebound collected by Demi Brewer, and Brewer will slow down, check behind her, and set up the Capital offense. 1 for their last 7 from the field now is Wilmington. Linder spins it inside, and Cypher's trying to get a call, but that was clean. Ball comes out, they throw it up the court, Burns knocks it away. Lewis will come back in for Wilmington,
Wilmington substitution number 3, Kennedy
placing
Lewis.
Cassidy Lovett. So they like playing Bailey and Lewis together. The 2 of them are quick. And Bailey's starting to get more run off the bench. The sophomore out of Fairfield, playing with the junior Lewis. Bailey has it here, over to Binkley. It's the 2 Binkleys, Lewis, Bailey, and underneath, that looks to be Brooke Stover still in there for Wilmington. It is. Michaela Binkley switching courts to Hannah. Now Lewis walks into the lane. Tough shot and a bailout foul at the end there by Ledbetter. That's Gabby's first. Wilmington shooting now just 33%. That last shot obviously won't count as an attempt due to the foul. Wilmington has scored 1 point in the last 3.5 minutes.
Allison Roach, the substitution for Capital.
The last shot made by Wilmington was by Michaela Binkley. That was the long 2 down here at kind of where the ball is currently positioned on the floor in the right wing. That was at 8:41, so they haven't made a basket in over 4 minutes by the time they get the ball back. Just about 4 minutes as they do get it back quickly. Bailey runs over Brewer. That's going to be a charge. Easy call. So Bailey gets the steal and then truck sticks Brewer, who will head to the bench after picking up the charge after drawing the charge against Bailey. Maddie Reese checks back in, the sophomore out of Navarre, Ohio. So that scoreless drought for Wilmington is snapped, but again, they haven't made a field goal in almost 4 minutes. Reese on the bounce pass from Linder. Cyphers comes to the top of the key. Cyphers bounce pass to Roach. She'll settle into a 3. No good. It hits the hand of Linder, but she was unable to corral it. And it goes out of bounds. Wilmington basketball, 26-20 with 4:30 left to play. Binkley has played 11 minutes, Michaela that is, and she has been racking up the usage for this Wilmington team at 34% right now, and it's only going higher. She takes a shot here and scores. Undersized against Cyphers, but it doesn't matter. Michaela Binkley, who had a rough game yesterday, she only took 3 shots and played 17 minutes. She did score 7 points in those 17 minutes, but she's already done better with her output today. She now has 9 points in about 12 minutes. That's going to be kicked out of bounds by Lewis. That should give Capital a little bit more time. 6 extra seconds added to the shot clock. Taphorn will replace somebody. Brewer checking right back in as well. Reese and Roach check out. So this is a smaller lineup. I mentioned they could go small with the foul trouble to both Amert and Dugood, excuse me for the pause there. So they go with 3 guards and Taphorn at the 4. Burns, Linder, and Brewer out there with Taphorn and Cyphers, who's about the only big outside of Ledbetter that is not in foul trouble. Capital turns it over, and then Brewer's called for a foul in transition. I think that's the 4th for Capital. Nope, it is the 5th, excuse me. So they will shoot free throws here. Binkley will go to the line, where Michaela is a good free throw shooter, not surprisingly. 84% on the season entering today. She's 1 for 2 today, so 17 for 21, 80.9%. And she'll improve upon that with the first make here. They still haven't made a field goal, since that Binkley shot. And again, that was back at 8:41. They've gotten free throws since then. Capital, meanwhile, hasn't made a shot from the field also since 7:05. So both teams haven't made a field goal for the better part of 3.5 minutes. And Wilmington has clawed their way back into it at the free throw line as a result. 3 ball, Cyphers, no good. Meanwhile, Capital gets another substitute in there, Katie Burke, to try to give them a little bit more size. Down low, Cyphers takes it away. They call it jump on that, which to me seemed like Cyphers clearly had it. Burke checked in for Brewer. She's playing down low. Capital, I think, is setting up this 3-2 zone look again. And they are. It's kind of a matchup zone. It looks like they're trying to play man, kind of a hybrid. Now it's more of a traditional zone look. Binkley on the outside, guarded by Burke. Wilmington probing, trying to find the soft spot in the zone. They can't find one. Binkley's going to have to throw one up. This is Hannah Binkley, no good. And the rebound collected by Taphorn. That was a really good defensive sequence there from Capital. 26-24. Linder, it's a screen. Kick out to Taphorn. Taphorn kicks out to Linder for 3. No chance. That's going to go out of bounds off of Wilmington.
Wilmington substitution 34, Khalees Jones. Also in for the Quakers,
It looks like it's been a pretty decent scoring quarter because Wilmington has 3 field goals and Capital has 4, but they all came at the start of the quarter. And again, both teams have now gone about 5 minutes without a basket made. Foul called. 2 shots coming for Linder.
Wilmington foul, 3, Kennedy Lewis. Their first, team's 4th. Shooting 2 for the Crusaders.
Linder goes to the line. She connected on a 3-pointer earlier. And Capital gets some back at the free throw line now. They're shooting 1 for their last 5 from the field and have been scoreless over the last 4.5 minutes before that make at the free throw line. It's been a brutal quarter. The last 5 minutes or so have just been field goals, or free throws from Wilmington chipping away at a Capital lead. Cap gets 1 back, and they lead now by 3, 27-24 as we close in on 2 minutes left to play. 3 ball, no good. 2 minutes left to play in the first half, that is, as the rebound is secured by Cyphers. Linder now with it. Another miss here from Capital. Rebound is collected by Jones. Khalees Jones pushing the pace to the basket. She gets it Down, and the free throw to come to try to tie this game up. Wilmington's first basket in 7 minutes.
24, Kaylee Cyphers. Her second team's fifth.
To be exact, they've had I missed a Michaela Binkley layup in there, so they scored at 4:06 and 8:41. And Binkley also scored at 9:46. Other than Binkley, no one has made a shot for Wilmington this quarter before that shot right there. And Zaria Bailey was the last person to make a shot for Wilmington that wasn't named Michaela Binkley since 3:56 in the first quarter. That's crazy. Foul called here now. I believe that's on tap.
22, Erica Linder.
No, they're going to get Linder. So Taphorn will stay at 1 foul. Linder picks up her first. And now back to the free throw line is Kennedy Lewis in the double bonus to try to tie this game. Free throw's good. Tie game. Almert double dribbles, trying to get across the timeline. And boy, has the Crusaders offense gone cold. Lewis will bring it up for Wilmington. Into the corner for 3. No good. And the rebound collected by Taphorn. Well, Capital has been very cold offensively, but they still are tied in this game and in control still. But a halftime break is probably going to be welcome to make some adjustments. Taphorn gets hit in the face. She goes down. And she is still down. I think she got poked in the eye. It looks like her right eye. She is down and helped to her feet. There's no blood or anything. And definitely frustrated that there's no foul called there. Taphorn still trying to figure out what's going on. And Taphorn's trying to come out of the game now, but they're going to resume play. That was a weird sequence. 35 seconds left, and now a foul is called. And boy, I know makeup calls they say don't exist, but boy, that felt like a makeup call, if anything. I didn't see anything there at all that would have warranted a whistle. And Taphorn gets to come out of the game now. Hate to be cynical, but I really feel like that was just kind of a makeup to get Taphorn out of the game and keep possession with the Crusaders. What do I know? Burns brings it over to Roach. Last sequence here of the half. Coming up will be the Capital Army ROTC halftime show after this possession here from Capital, trying to take a lead into the locker rooms. 10 seconds left in the half. 5 on the shot clock for Burns. Burns drives in. She's blocked by Binkley. 3 seconds now the other way. 2. They're going to have to heave a deep 3. No good. 29 is where things stand at half. What if I could tell you that you could take a college course that not only required textbooks, but courage, determination, and a good pair of boots? A course that would lead directly to a directly to a career as a leader, not an intern or assistant. Are you ready to become a student and a leader? Enroll in the Capital University Army ROTC, where you could get a full tuition scholarship and graduate a leader and officer in the United States Army. To learn more about Army ROTC, call 614-236-6808 for more information. Once again, that's 614-236-6808. Or you can visit www.capital.edu/ROTC to learn more information about the Capital University Army ROTC. We will be right back. When we come back, we will have an update on the scores around the OAC and break down our halftime statistics while naming our halftime hero here on the Capital University ROTC Halftime Show.
Army ROTC is one of the best leadership courses in the country and can be a part of your college curriculum. As a potential or current student at Capital University, learning to become a leader will make your college experience even richer and prepare you for the future. Capital Army ROTC can provide scholarships and many more benefits to those who enroll, but the biggest benefit will be experienced firsthand after joining. For more information on Capital Army ROTC, testimonials, and an in-depth look at what the program can offer you, go to www.capital.edu/ROTC.
It's the perfect sports bar because it's not just a sports bar.
I'm Gary Calico, founder and president of Rusty Bucket. A lot of families build their sports world around the bucket.
It's not just a guy's night out. You can bring your wife, you can bring your kids.
We get a lot of groups in after games.
Great place after the game.
Kids love to come here.
The Rusty Bucket Restaurant and Tavern.
The Rusty Bucket is a proud supporter of the Capital Crusaders. Visit us after the game at 2158 East Main Street and grab life by the bucket.
New vehicles, reliable pre-owned vehicles, top-notch, high-quality service technicians, and friendly, trustworthy sales associates dedicated to customer service. Byers Airport Subaru in Columbus is ready to get you into the vehicle that you were meant for. Stop by to see our selection at 401 North Hamilton Road in Columbus and take a test drive, or call Byers Airport Subaru at 877-265-9695 today. Byers Airport Subaru is a proud supporter of Crusader Athletics. Subaru, confidence in motion.
Where will you live your purpose? Not in a refuge from the real world. The university anchored in the center of Ohio is at the epicenter of possibility, purpose, and the power of purple. There's no time for hesitation here. No need to put things neatly into boxes. Just the need to nurture the role you were born for, no matter who you are. We believe that engagement is as important as education, that curiosity is as important as the classroom. And when given the chance, we do more, not less. We live, learn, and lead with purpose. Just like the city that surrounds us. We're a coalition of the willing, an alliance of the ready, a union of the good. We're from Capital, and our purpose is purpose.
OSU Sports Medicine is a proud supporter of Crusader student athletes by providing sports health services for Capital University athletics and student health services. Through the work and care of team physicians and athletic trainers, it's the team behind your team. For all fans, if you're looking to improve your physical performance, recover from an injury, or stay active for a lifetime, the experts at Ohio State Sports Medicine are there for you. Visit sportsmedicine.osu.edu or call 366-4332.
Yeah, welcome back into the Capital University ROTC Halftime Show. I'm Jimmy Bloomfield here with you again here on Saturday night, and we will break down the statistics of this first half in just a second. First, we have our OAC scoreboard update. Capital trying to move their way up here in the standings, and a couple results from halftime to this point. Ohio Northern leading Heidelberg 40-27. John Carroll is all over Baldwin Wallace right now by a count of 33-19. And Capital very fortunate to not have to draw this John Carroll's matchup, but they will play Baldwin Wallace next weekend. Baldwin Wallace is going to fall to 500 if they're unable to come back, and with a win today, Capital could pull level with Baldwin Wallace and all of a sudden be in the thick of things with a win in this game. It's a very pivotal one, even at just 1-2 to this point. The other scores, Marietta is all over Muskingum right now, 52-33. Marietta, the team that knocked out Capital last year in the OAC tournament. Looking like they've got a nice little squad here again in 2021. And the final score, Mount Union leading Otterbein 41-34. Otterbein's having a pretty decent year to this point at 3-2, but they might fall back to 500. And Wilmington, or Mount Union, that is, would improve to 2-4 with a win, which would be a 2-game win streak for the for the Purple Raiders. Those are the 3 teams that Capital will not play this year in the regular season. Otterbein as well as Mount Union and John Carroll, but they will play everyone else. The stats from this one, Michaela Binkley has been the story for Wilmington. She's made 4 of their 9 shots. They're shooting 33% from the field. And I mentioned they've made, players not named Michaela Binkley have made 2 shots in the last 14 minutes for Wilmington. But yet, we're still tied. They're struggling from the field. They're struggling from 3, 1 for 10 from the three-point line. But they are 10 of 13 at the free throw line, and that's what's kept them in this ball game. All 10 of those, or 9 of the 10 free throws coming in that second quarter. Their Crusaders, on the other hand, have been better from the field. 11 for 25, 44%. They shot over 40% in both quarters. Yet they haven't been able to pull away because of that free throw line on the other side. Each team has 12 turnovers. Points in the paint favor Capital 16 of 14. Wilmington does have 5 second chance points, though. Bench scoring the way of Capital 12-7. Capital spent 14:46 in the lead of the 20 minutes. Just 149 on the other side for Wilmington. They haven't led by more than 2. Capital has led by as many as 9. Both teams have had a 7-0 run as their best scoring run. 3 changes of the lead. 4 times we've been tied, and that's where we currently sit. In terms of individual leaders, Binkley leads the way on the other side with 11 points. Hannah Binkley, her sister, struggling today. She has just 3 points. 6 points for Kennedy Lewis, 3 for Kalias Jones, 2 for Bailey, 1 for Miller, 1 for Lovett, and 2 from Michelle Lee. Rebounding leaders, Haley Cook has 5. Michaela Binkley has 4. The rest of the Quakers have combined for 10, including 2 for Kennedy Lewis. That's 19 total rebounds. And Capital losing the battle on the glass again. They have just 14, 5 of which have come from Taphorn, and 4 of which have come from Kaylee Cyphers. Scoring-wise for Capital, Taphorn leads the way there as well with 8 points, 4 apiece from Linder, Duguid, and Amert, 3 from Emma Burns, and 2 apiece from Ledbetter and Burke. Kaylee Cyphers again has been held scoreless here. That's 0 points in this game, 0 points in the last game. A total of 29 minutes, almost 30 minutes without a made shot in this little 2-game series, if you want to call it that, between tonight and last night. She's 0 for 5 from the field in those 2 games. Also worth noting in terms of plus-minus, which, you know, take it for what you will, Taphorn has a +5 plus-minus. Maddie Duguid has a +13 plus-minus, and her 9.18 on the floor. And Amert at +1, Linder at +3. Everyone else is in the negatives, so by plus-minus standards, the best 5 for Capital at this point have been Taphorn, Burns, Amert, Linder, and Duguid. But from a foul situation, Kaylee Cyphers has 2 fouls, Maddie Duguid has 2 fouls, and Brooke Amert has 2 fouls. So that is something to keep an eye on in the second half. On the other side, bunch of foul trouble as well. Zaria Bailey, Elise Carpenter, Haley Cook, and Michelle Lee each have 2 fouls as well. Our halftime hero in this one is Caroline Taphorn. Pretty easy call today. She leads the Crusaders in steals, assists, rebounds, and points in this one. 8 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists, and a steal. No turnovers for her as well, which is impressive. And she's drawn 2 fouls. 2 for 2 at the free throw line, 3 for 3 from the field. And the spiritual leader here for the Crusaders in Taphorn, the senior, is our halftime hero in this one. 29-29. We're about 5 minutes away from the start of the second half. We'll step away from the Capital University ROTC halftime show and come back with second half action here live from the Capital Center.
I wanted to fly. They said I couldn't. So I built a plane, then a spaceship, then I went to the moon. I invented jazz, hip-hop, rock and roll. Some called it noise. I said it was music. I wrote a letter and sent it by ponies. It didn't get to you fast enough, so I used trucks and ships. But still, they weren't fast enough for me. So I lost the paper and the ink. I sent it by magic. I called it email. I made up new words: jukebox, bling, Google. And I decided some old words weren't okay to say ever again. The mustache. I tried to bring that back 17 times. I wore knickerbockers and shoulder pads, poodle skirts and flannel. When I came back from World War II, all I had was a t-shirt. So I made that cool. In fact, I invented cool. Who am I? I'm the spirit of youth. It's my job to move the world forward. Pepsi. Every generation refreshes the world.
Dill's Greenhouse is a local family business dedicated to offering the best shopping experience and honest prices for your gardening needs. If you're in need of annuals, perennials, vegetable plants, or any variety of gardening tools and resources, Dill's Greenhouse is more than happy to get you on the right path. Dill's Greenhouse is located at 5800 Rager Road in Groveport, Ohio, and is open 7 days a week. Visit them online for more information at dillsgreenhouse.net. Dill's Greenhouse. Only nature does it better. Dill's Greenhouse is a local family business dedicated to offering the best shopping experience and honest prices for your gardening needs. If you're in need of annuals, perennials, vegetable plants, or any variety of gardening tools and resources, Dill's Greenhouse is more than happy to get you on the right path. Dill's Greenhouse is located at 5800 Rager Road in Groveport, Ohio, and is open 7 days a week. Visit them online for more information at dillsgreenhouse.net. Dill's Greenhouse. Only nature does it better.
This is a message for all those MBA seekers out there. For the junior exec who'd rather be senior. For the VP yearning to be CEO. And for everyone who'd call their job not just a profession, but a passion. Capital University's MBA program was built exclusively for professionals, experienced faculty, flexible schedules, and classmates you'll soon consider colleagues. Learn more at capital.edu/MBA. The Capital University MBA, for those driven to do more.
New vehicles, reliable pre-owned vehicles, top-notch, high-quality service technicians, and friendly, trustworthy sales associates dedicated to customer service. Byers Airport Subaru in Columbus is ready to get you into the vehicle that you were meant for. Stop by to see our selection at 401 North Hamilton Road in Columbus and take a test drive, or call Byers Airport Subaru at 877-265-9695 today. Byers Airport Subaru is a proud supporter of Crusader Athletics. Subaru, confidence in motion.
And welcome back to the Capitol Center. Some ads have frozen up on us here. Apologize for the dead noise there. Jimmy Bloomfield's here, and we will have our second half action coming up in about 45 seconds or so. Wilmington is gathering, for some reason, in the back corner of the gym to the left rather than on the court. I'm not exactly sure why that is the case, but they're all the way back there, and we are about ready to get things going again. The countdown clock has stopped here in the arena at 22 seconds, so not entirely sure what's going on right now, but we will get it figured out and move down. And the reason for the delay is actually that we're only going to have two officials here for the rest of the game, and we're waiting on the second official, well, either official really, to come back into this game. So we have both teams ready to play ball, but we don't have either official. So Coach Jeffers is explaining the situation, it looks like, to the interim head coach, Janelle Blankenspor. Again, still no official coming out here. Now, Jerry Sheevy, the legendary head coach here at Wilmington, had taken he's been their head coach for the past 30 years. He ended up taking a leave of absence in the 2021 season. He plans to return to the program in 2021-22 season and beyond. So Janelle Blankenspor, the top assistant coach for the last 2 years, is serving as the head coach for this season, and doesn't explicitly say why Sheevy has stepped away this season, but you would expect COVID to be a reason for that potentially, and just as we've seen in other sports, just opting out of the season. And he hopes to be back on the sideline in front of the bench for the Quakers next season. Both teams are starting to get an additional warm-up in, as we still don't have an official on either side coming out of the tunnel. Coach Jeffers has gone back underneath, and we are going to be seeing what's going on in this one here. We're going to step away for a short timeout, and we should have some more basketball coming soon. 29-29 is our score.
For all those MBA seekers out there, for the junior exec who'd rather be senior, for the VP yearning to be CEO, and for everyone who'd call their job not just a profession, but a passion. Capital University's MBA program was built exclusively for professionals, experienced faculty, flexible schedules, and classmates you'll soon consider colleagues. Learn more at capital.edu/MBA.
All right, so we do have some basketball to bring your way here. Both officials have made their way out. We're just playing with two officials. Crusaders will start with the ball to start the second half, and a little bit of an extended delay, but fortunately we have some more action tonight. Burns will bring it across the timeline, pass over to Roach, and now Albert has it. Albert and Cyphers each with 2 fouls, so both have to play some smart basketball right now. That's a tough pass from Taphorn to get it to Burns, but it got there. Roach has some room underneath now, and she scoops it in off the backboard and in. So Capital starts off with a 31-29 lead. Lewis has it for Wilmington. It looks like they've gone back to their starting 5 as well, and they have some foul trouble that we went through as well. Binkley to her sister Hannah for 3. No good. That's now 1 for 11 from outside. Michaela Binkley on the putback, also no good, and Kaylee Cyphers collects the miss. Burns will head to the free throw line here. 31-29. Kennedy Lewis picks up her second now, so that's 3 Wilmington starters with 2 fouls now. And overall, I believe that's the 5th player. Yeah, the 5th player that's picking up 2 fouls on the other side. Amert and Cyphers will head down the floor to set the defense for Capital. Burns makes the free throw, and Capital says we don't need to do this full court pressure. We're going to get into our zone look. Wilmington tried to break it first, but it's tipped out of bounds by Taphorn. 33-29. Capital out in front. They've made the first 4 points here in the second half to regain control of this game. Into the corner for Binkley. Lee was below her. It looked like Lee was standing out of bounds almost. A jump ball is called as it was trapped below Binkley's legs. Possession will stay with Wilmington as Capital started the half with possession. 33-29 our score. Pass in. Hannah Binkley. Lewis back to Binkley. One of those players has to shoot there. 7 to shoot now, and I don't know if Wilmington's going to get a better look. 3 ball. No good. Put back from Haley Cook, who's been the best rebounder in this game. She's fouled by Cyphers. That's Cyphers' third. Oh, they give it on Taphorn. That's actually a break for Capital. So Taphorn gets the foul. Her second. Capital now with 3 starters at 2 fouls, and could be a situation of which team stays out of foul trouble could win this ball game. Both free throws are missed. Taphorn collects the miss. Roach dropping it down to Amert. Amert bounce pass inside Cyphers, turnaround jump shot, and that's her first basket in either game of this series. Good to see her get off the schneid a little bit, and we'll see if she can have a strong half here. 3 ball, no good from Lewis. Offensive rebound again. Wilmington continuing to kill the Crusaders on the glass. Hannah Binkley. And now a steal, and a steal back. They're going to call a foul against Roach. So Wilmington will get possession here. Oh, excuse me. Actually, they called a foul against Wilmington, so. Amert, what did she do? Well, that doesn't make any sense. So the foul goes against Amert. Duguid checks in for Amert. It looked like if you're going to call a foul on someone, it would have been on Roach there. And now Duguid will have to check in with Amert getting her 3rd foul. That's very interesting. Binkley goes to the line, or to the offensive setup here. She's down on the near sideline. Michaela Binkley driving into Burns, trying to break through the zone are the Quakers. No foul, no shot, foul on the floor. That's going to go against Roach. So she probably should have got the last one, and she picks up the foul this time. Pass in now to Binkley, and a turnover. Another foul away from the play. I think that's on Lee. So Michelle Lee will have to come out as she picks up her 3rd foul. It's not like a broken record at this point, as we've had whistle after whistle here. 5 fouls in the first 2.5 minutes of this quarter. Let's see if either team can settle in here. No good on the attempt from Cyphers. Duguid had it tipped away twice and stolen away by Hannah Binkley. Gives it off to Michaela Binkley. And that's somehow not called anything. Charge or a block. Taphorn was just sitting there. Got put to the ground, but a good no call, I guess, either way. And Cyphers can't connect on this end. With 2 officials running the floor, you might be able to get away with a little bit more. 3 ball from Hannah Binkley's good. 35-34. At the end of the day, whichever team is going to knock down these shots at the end is going to be the team to come away with this game. There's no doubt about that. So you can complain about the fouls and everything you want, but it's going to come down to which team can finish and knock down their open shots. Taphorn. She knocks down hers. You like to see that. 10 points for Caroline Taphorn. She hasn't missed today, 4 for 4. And it is now 37-34. Oh, they're going to call a foul on the 3 there. Wow, Allison Roach picks up the foul. That's also her 3rd. It is a whistle fest here.
Substitution for the Crusaders. In for Wilmington, number 4, Saria Bailey. And 20, Cassidy Lovett.
Cassidy Lovett will get to go to the free throw line. Oh, are they not saying this is a shot? That's kind of perplexing. The foul was called right after the shot, but they're not awarding the shot. Should have been 3 free throws for Wilmington. Capital catches a break. And they settle back into their 2-3 zone with Linder, Taphorn, Burns, Cyphers, and Duguid. And Wilmington turns it over. So kind of a ticky-tack foul either way. But Capital lucks out. They don't give up any free throws, and then they get a takeaway in the sequence. Burns working against Bailey defensively. Taphorn fouled. Another foul called. This time against Lovett. 37-34, 5:45 to play as we mosey through this third quarter, and already we've had 7 combined fouls. Wilmington has 1 more to give. Capital has 1 more, and Wilmington will be shooting free throws. Duguid passes is off to Taphorn on the left wing. 6 to shoot. Burns. 4 to shoot. 3 to shoot. Got to make something happen. Burns tries to. Throws up a miss. And the rebound is collected by Cook. Now on the other end of the floor, a basket. They're going to wave that one off. Yes. Offensive foul. Another foul. That is now 4 apiece. That one's called on Bailey again. And she's only 5'3", but she's already picking up 2 charges in this game. Michelle Lee will come back on with her 3 fouls. Both teams will enter into the bonus, and Amert will come back in as well, replacing Cyphers. Cyphers has 2 fouls. Amert has 3. And Duguid has 2. So out of those 3 players, you need at least 1 to stay out of foul trouble to finish this game out. 2 of them are on the floor right now. 5:05 to play, 37-34. That ball is taken away by Wilmington. It did hit the foot there of Lee, but they didn't call it a kick. And then Wilmington gives it right up. Amert to the basket, falls down, gets rid of it to Duguid in first, and now she slides across the floor for a travel. Looks like Amert walked first anyway. And Hannah Binkley will replace Michaela Binkley. This is a lineup right now for Wilmington that is going to struggle to score. With Michaela on the sideline, Capital has to take advantage here. Michaela Binkley with 11 points leading the way for both teams. Shot is good from Michelle Lee. She's starting to find herself a little bit here. Capital gets it across the timeline. They still lead by 1. Wilmington has just 17 points from the players that are on the floor right now. Means they have 19 on their bench. Lovett picks up another foul. That's her second. She's not really a player that's going to finish this game out anyway, but just kind of speaks to the fact that we've seen a lot of foul calls in this game. And we're trying to develop some kind of flow to this one. Demi Brewer at the free throw line makes the first. 38-36. Lots of free throws in this game. Brewer misses the second. And Elise Carpenter picks up the miss. So Carpenter will start the rush the other way. 38-36, 4 minutes to play here in the third quarter. Hannah Binkley. Lewis inside to Lee. Foul called against Duguid. That's her third. So they're down a ref, but they don't seem to be missing a beat. Michelle Lee at the line. She makes the first. Lee has been in foul trouble in this game and hasn't really gotten going, but she is a player that averages about 8 points a night. She misses the second free throw here. Another whistle. Not exactly surprising. They're going to call a jump ball on that one. Burns will replace Taphorn. 38-37. Kayla Binkley checks in. And Kayla and Hannah Binkley both in there now for Wilmington, so you would think they'd have the better lineup between the two of them being back out there. Linder from Burns, how about that? Quick transition, 40-37. And Wilmington has 4 of their 5 starters on the floor now. Lewis travels. So it's go time for the Quakers. They're trying to work their way back in this game. 40-37 the score, and they're trying to get a lead in this one, which they have not done since the first quarter. The largest lead in this game is 2 points also. Brooke Stover checks in meanwhile for the Quakers. Several players on the floor with 3 fouls right now. Late in the third quarter, Brewer throws it away from Amert. So an easy basket the last time, Burns and Linder. This time thrown out of bounds. And Capital bring in another player with 3 fouls, Allison Roach. And Roach will try to solidify the ball handling, getting the ball up the floor. 40-37 with 3:40 to play. Lewis to Binkley, who has it for the Quakers. Binkley for 3. No good. Wilmington 1 for their last 11 from 3, 2 for 15 on the game. Burns, Linder, Roach for 3. No good. Offensive rebound opportunity for Amert, poked away by Lee, and Lewis collects it up the floor the other way. 3 ball from Hannah Binkley. No good. The Binkley twins from outside, 2 for 10 in this game. Credit the Capital defense for that. Timeout called by Coach Jeffers. She wants to get some offense going in this game. Full timeout. 40-37, 2:53 to play in the third quarter. We'll be right back.
Where will you live your purpose? Not in a refuge from the real world. The university anchored in the center of Ohio is at the epicenter of possibility, purpose, and the power of purple. There's no time for hesitation here. No need to put things neatly in their boxes. Just the need to nurture the role you were born for, no matter who you are. We believe that engagement is as important as education, that curiosity is as important as the classroom. And when given the chance, we do more, not less. We live, learn, and lead with purpose. Just like the city that surrounds us. We're a coalition of the willing, an alliance of the ready, a union of the good. We're from Capital. And our purpose is purpose.
And we'll see if the Crusaders come out of the timeout with some purpose here. 40-37, they lead. They had some nice offensive flow to start off the sequence of the half, but this sequence doesn't start off nearly as well. Turnover for our Crusaders. Under 3 minutes to play. Neither team has developed any kind of offensive rhythm still, and we sit at a 40-37 game as a result. Binkley inside, and there's a bucket from Brooke Stover, the freshman out of Franklin, Ohio, and they'll set up their offense now, or their full court press, I should say, on the Capital offense. 40-39. Stolen away. Miller giving it off to Cook, and that's good defense from Emma Burns knocking it away. Taphorn comes right back in for Capital. Burns comes off. Wilmington with a chance to take the lead. They have not led since 5:30 in the first quarter. And their largest lead in this game is 2 points. Miller throws it in, gets it right back out. Now Binkley with it. Spinning, losing the ball, and Taphorn comes away with her second steal. Tap with 10 points and 6 rebounds in this one. Brings it across the floor. Fakes a pass, and now is blocked by Michaela Binkley. Taphorn gives her a high five afterwards, too. It's Taphorn's first miss. Eerily quiet here at the Capitol Center. Obviously no fans in attendance in this one, and the officials with the whistles have really slowed down the pace of this game, and there's another one right on cue. Foul is going to go against Calais Jones, and Taphorn will march to the free throw line.
Crusaders in the bonus at the line, shooting 2-20, Caroline Taphorn.
Taphorn misses the first free throw. She is 2 for 3 at the line today. Knocks in the second. And it gives Capital a 2-point cushion in this one. 41-39. Lewis gets it back from Jones. Inside to Binkley. Binkley, strong off the glass, no good. What a rebound by Binkley. That's an incredible effort on the glass. And a foul is called on Dugood. That's Dugood's fourth. Amert and Roach each have 3. So it's going to be Cyphers' turn to cycle back in. She has 2. Michaela Binkley, the 4th leading scorer in the conference, makes her first point of this half. She's been quiet in this series, the home and home, as she scored just 7 points yesterday. She has 12 in this one. And that free throw there will allow Wilmington to come back within 1, but the second one is a miss. So a chance to tie the game slips through, and then they get a takeaway right after. Neither team has been able to develop any kind of rhythm in this game. And whichever team is able to build together a solid 2-3 minute stretch, it might be enough as we enter the final 11 minutes of this game. Lewis. Binkley, 3 ball. No good again. Hannah Binkley misses once again. 2 of 7 from 3. Taphorn is fouled by Jones. What? No. I'm sorry. They call a foul on Capital. It's not Taphorn. What? Well, yikes. I don't know what Taphorn did there. She doesn't know what she did either. Would have thought the foul would be on Jones. It wasn't an illegal screen. Taphorn will have to come off with the 3rd foul, and Linder will replace her. Pass goes in now to Cook. Back out to Binkley. Lewis fakes to Binkley. Goes to Jones. Down low. Back out. And a pass to no man's land collected by Lewis. Lewis now gets it out. Jones for 3. She's 0 for 4. Rebound turns into a jump ball. It's going to stay with Wilmington. They will not get a reset of the shot clock. Jones will try again. And that one hit nothing again. Rebound, Lewis skips out. Now Cyphers gets it and she's fouled. So Cyphers to the free throw line now. Wilmington with several opportunities to take the lead, but they're unable to, and now Cyphers will get a chance at the strike.
At the line for Capital shooting 2, 24, Kaylee Cyphers.
Cyphers made her first basket of this one in this quarter. She misses the free throw here. She's just 1 for 5 from the field. Second free throw is good. So Capital back out in front by a basket. 42-40. Wilmington tries to take the lead with 3-pointers. They're 2 of 18 from 3 in this game. 1 for their last 14 from 3. And overall, they're 1 for their last 9. Jones on the Lewis on the free layup there, no good. Off the rim. 4 seconds left for Reese. 2 seconds for Reese. Off over the backboard. Oh me, oh my. That shot goes a little too high. 42-40 is our score. We head to the fourth quarter here at the Capitol Center.
They said I couldn't, so I built a plane, then a spaceship, then I went to the moon. I invented jazz, hip-hop, rock and roll. Some called it noise. I said it was music. I wrote a letter and sent it by ponies. It didn't get to you fast enough, so I used trucks and ships. But still, they weren't fast enough for me. So I lost the paper and the ink. I sent it by magic. I called it email. I made up new words: jukebox, bling, Google. And I decided some old words weren't okay to say ever again. The mustache. I tried to bring that back 17 times. I wore knickerbockers and shoulder pads, poodle skirts and flannel. When I came back from World War II, all I had was a t-shirt. So I made that cool. In fact, I invented cool. Who am I? I'm the spirit of youth. It's my job to move the world forward. Pepsi. Every generation refreshes the world.
Welcome back to the Capitol Center. 42-40 is the score. Capital leading. Some ugly stats from shooting, especially from the three-point line. That quarter did not go well for either side. In terms of overall shooting, Wilmington was 4 of 18 from 3. I'm sorry, 4 of 18 for the field and 1 of 8 from 3. 22% shooting. Capital, meanwhile, shot just 44% on 4 of 9 shooting. They got 9 less shots up because they had 7 turnovers. Wilmington was able to dominate the offensive glass. They had 7 offensive rebounds in that third quarter, but they weren't able to convert them into anything. And when it's all said and done, a 13-11 win in the quarter for Capital, and they have kind of just clung to a lead this entire game. They lead by 2. And like I said, it sounds very simple, but if either team can develop a 2-3 minute stretch of offensive rhythm, this game is over for whichever team can piece it together. And it's not like they're fighting just themselves. They're fighting some officiating as well. As not necessarily bad calls, but we're seeing pretty much everything get called. And when you've got some kind of games like that, it's hard to get into a rhythm. But there's a good place to turn. Emma Burns knocks down the basket. And she's the best shooter on this team. You might as well get her going. Just her second make from the field in this game. Binkley still rocking a 32% usage, by the way, for Wilmington, which is crazy. Kick out to Carpenter for 3. In and out. 2 of 19 from 3. Both threes have been made by Hannah Binkley, who's taken 7. So the rest of her teammates are 0 of 12 from 3. Amert, Roach. Someone get Emma Burns open this sequence. Tap point. Gets the screen from Amert. Taphorn will take a shot from the free throw line. That's a tough look. Good defense. Amert with the rebound, 1 against 3. The best she could do was tap it out and get a jump ball, which will at least switch the possession arrow. When you're 1 against 3 under the basket, that should have been an easy rebound the other way, so we'll take that as a victory. (44-40). Capital still holding on to the lead here. They have the possession arrow back as Michaela Binkley goes back to work. She has shot 13 times. She's made just 4. But she has been the best offensive player for Wilmington today. Here's Hannah Binkley. That should be a charge. It is. Drawing the charge is Emma Burns. Hannah Binkley and Michaela Binkley have now combined to go 7 for 23 from the field, 2 for 11 from 3. And they now have 2 turnovers each. Wilmington starting to sag off the pressure here and allow Capital to get into the offensive set. Roach gets a screen from Amert, gives it off to Burns. A 3-ball from Capital this sequence would make it a 7-point lead. Give it to Burns. She wants it. It was a little late. They get it to Roach instead. 8 seconds. That's a kick from Binkley with 6 seconds to shoot. And if this play is not drawing up a 3-pointer for Emma Burns, I would be surprised. Taphorn. She'll drive in for an easy layup. That'll work. They got a reset of the shot clock there to 15 seconds, so they had a little bit more time to work with. Taphorn takes advantage. 46-40. Capital starting to pull away a little bit. Another charge called against Michaela Binkley. So Capital starts off out of this break, and they've done a nice job with a 5-0 run in the last 4 minutes or so, closing out the last quarter, opening up this quarter. And certainly fighting through some adversity in this one to try to get back to 2-2. The whistles on both sides have been crazy. So many fouls have been called in this game. There's been 40 personal fouls. We still have 7.5 minutes to go. At least that's now 8 players with 3 fouls. And right on cue, there's another one. So 8 players have 3 fouls, and 4 more have at least 2. Actually make that 5 more with 2 fouls. You could make an entire lineup full of players with multiple fouls on each side. A timeout's taken, and we'll reset here with a minute to play, or a minute on the timeout. 7:31 to play. Capital leads by 6.
Sports Medicine is a proud supporter of Crusader student athletes by providing sports health services for Capital University athletics and student health services. Through the work and care of team physicians and athletic trainers, it's the team behind your team. For all fans, if you're looking to improve your physical performance, recover from an injury,
Welcome back to the Capitol Center. Caroline Taphorn to the free throw line. Wilmington has 3 fouls here in the quarter. Capital, fortunately, doesn't have any yet. And Capital will go back to the bonus with 2 more fouls. Taphorn misses another free throw here. 10 of 14 on the day, now 10 of 15 after that miss. 67% from the line. Not great, but there's been worse. 68% after the make from Taphorn, and hopefully they can get back in the mid-70s by the time this thing's over. More importantly, it's a 3-possession game, which, again, neither team has really pieced together any kind of offense sustained for several possessions in this game. A basket here from Wilmington. Now they get a steal, and they just blow the layup there by Miller. 47-42. Taphorn walks it across the timeline, and now is the time of the game where you start taking the air out of the basketball and try to hold on to a 5-point lead and close this thing out. Roach steps back, out to Amert. Amert drives in. Floater's good from Brooke Amert. 6 points from her. Quietly getting there. Battling through some foul trouble as well. That is a travel that is not called. Goes over to Jones now for 3. No good. Well, the strategy of just keep chucking and someone will go down is not working still. We are working at 10% now. 22 for 20 from 3 are the Quakers in this game. 49-42. Taphorn to Roach. Burns waiting on the outside wing here, trying to get a kick out. Poked away by Jones. She saves it to Roach. 2 to shoot. Roach has to throw it up. No good. One of the better looking shots we've seen in this game as it banks off the rim. 16 seconds on the shot clock. Roach does the job at least resetting the shot clock. Now she'll have a much easier attempt from 3. This one hits the front iron, no good. Taphorn with the rebound. Burns calling for a 3, but Taphorn says, no way, we're going to slow this thing down. 5:25 to play. Still up by 7. Capital extending time this possession. Taphorn with the dribble breakdown, no good. Offensive rebound, Capital. Burns with another fresh 18 to work with. Skip pass to Roach, didn't get there. Roach is fouled. Well, how about that sequence from the Crusaders right there? 3 offensive rebounds, and Khalees Jones picks up a foul, which will be the 4th foul for Wilmington. No more fouls to give. Roach is a little bit shaken up, and Linder will replace her. So this sequence still is not over for the Crusaders. They have another 20 seconds on the shot clock here, and can continue to assault away this game here, essentially playing keep away. A basket would be a 9-point lead. Full timeout called by Coach Jeffers, allowing her girls to catch their breath. We'll be right back.
Crusaders expanded their final.
Capital University presents The Good Guarantee. The Good Guarantee promises families who work for nonprofits or in public service will never have to pay more than 50% tuition based on their total amount of financial aid. This includes your talent, merit, and need-based aid. You can live on campus or at home. It's renewable for up to 8 semesters, and you can study any major and minor. Current students can apply too. You qualify if you or your spouse or your parent or guardian work for a nonprofit or public service organization and you are a full-time undergrad. Because we want to create purposeful people, courageous community, and hopeful humanity. The world needs more good. The world needs you. You invest in others, we invest in you. For more information, visit capital.edu/good-guarantee.
Welcome back to the Capitol Center. 49-42. Jimmy Bloomfield here with you as we try to complete a home sweep from the men and women. Men beating Wilmington last night and the women leading 49-42 in this one. Next week is Baldwin Wallace weekend. The women will have the Friday game here at the Capitol Center. And by the way, if the Crusaders win this game, this will be their first win in this building. Now, obviously, with COVID included there, in nearly a year. They haven't won in this building since February 12th of 2020. Burns out to Linder, now to Taphorn, 7 to work with. Duga gives her a screen, kick out Amert. Burns will throw up a deep 3. Yes, it's good from outside. 52-42, Emma Burns with a big-time shot there. The Crusaders have their largest lead of the game. And now a miss on the other side. Binkley for 3. No good. Do good. Trying to hit that rebound. Heck of an effort from Lovett there. Keep this alive for Wilmington. Binkley. Lovett. 3 ball. Lewis. It's good from 3. Kennedy Lewis knocks it down. And now Amert will bring it across the floor for Capital. Almost throws it away from Taphorn, who was able to get there. Capital back up by 7. We've traded threes the last 2 possessions, and now Wilmington gets a stop. Lewis can't find the basketball. It lands right in front of her, and Lewis will pull back now. Lewis inside Binkley, fouled by Dogood. Her night is done. Thought that Burns 3 would give Capital that cushion that they needed. But it won't because of a 3 ball from Kennedy Lewis. And Taphorn takes herself out of the game here for a second. Needing a breather. Dogood with 5 fouls, so she's done for the day. Roach, Taphorn, Amert each with 3 still. Kennedy Lewis on the other side is playing with 4. Michelle Lee has 3. Splitting a pair at the line, it's now 52-46. Capital had their largest lead of the game less than a minute ago. It's now down to 6. That's going to work as a pass to Cyphers, and it's blocked out of bounds. 13 seconds for the Crusaders to work with on this sequence now. Linder gets it inbounds to Burns. Burns with 10 to shoot. Wilmington can't foul, and an illegal screen is called against Cyphers. My goodness. There have been so many illegal screens called in this game. It'd be crazy to go back and look at the numbers of how many. Lovett on the outside. Working against this 2-3 zone, trying to find a hole. Wilmington has tried to shoot through it, but 3 of 21 from 3 is not how you beat a 2-3 zone. Lovett, a deep 2. No good. And Brooke Amert, nice box out and rebound on Stover. Gets it across to Burns. Burns slows down. Ankle breaker from Burns. She'll slow down though. 20 seconds to work with here on the shot clock. Under 3 minutes to go in the game. Roach throws it to no one. Lovett gets the steal. Lewis. Behind the back dribble. Lewis kick out to Lovett. Lovett on the baseline. Skip pass to Binkley. Now it's the other Binkley. Now it's Lewis from 3. No good. Michaela Binkley with the putback, and she's fouled. Can make it a 1-possession game again. Wilmington with their 48 points right now. This is their lowest output of the season. They've scored 61, 52, 96, 83, 77, and sitting in this one at 48. They're shooting just 29% from the field. And I mentioned 3 of 22 now from 3. But with all that said, Michaela Binkley has 16 points, and she has pulled Wilmington back to within 3. A 7-0 run over the last 2:30 for Wilmington. Linder. Amert, slow it down. Get control. Here we go. 2:10 to go. Capital needs a bucket. Taphorn. Outside. Linder steps into a 2. No good off the back iron. Rebound. They're going to call a foul, and it's going to go against Linder. Each team now with 4 fouls. Hannah Binkley and Kennedy Lewis back into the game. That one's not a shooting foul. The officials double checking that. Elise Carpenter has checked in, as well as Haley Cook, who's been a beast on the boards. 17 offensive rebounds for Wilmington. Has converted them into 14 second chance points. They're +9 on Capital in that department. For 3, Hannah Binkley cannot get it to go. Another offensive rebound and another foul. Elise Carpenter goes to the line. Brooke Olmert picks up her 5th. She's done. I mentioned Capital's going to need some size at the end of the game. And Capital deciding who to throw in. They're going to go to Katie Burke. So Katie Burke, who has played just 4 minutes in this game, is going to have to close it out potentially with Amert out and grabbing her wrist. And Duguid also out with 5 fouls. Carpenter makes the first free throw. Amert is not seeing the trainers or anything, but she's grabbing her elbow, her left elbow, forearm area. And now the trainer trying to check on it, and she will get a look. Poked out of bounds here by Bailey. .137 to play. Wilmington trails by just 1. Deep ball looking for Burns. She gets a perfect bounce, goes to the rack, gets it to go. Well, that's not how you draw it up, but it works for 2 points. Emma Burns with 12. 54-51, timeout called by Wilmington. They have to make their defensive for offensive subs, so Cook and Hannah Binkley and Lewis will all check back in. The possession arrow favors Capital, but the momentum might favor Wilmington. The Crusaders led by 10 points with 4:27 left in the game. And that score was 52-42. Since then, it's been a 9-2 run for Wilmington. Since that point, 3 minutes ago. Wilmington from 3, by the way, they've had this streak kind of throughout the game. They're 1 for their last 9 from outside. They've done that 3 different times. Capital is 1 for their last 5 from the field, and you saw it on that Burns layup. That was their first make in several minutes. 54-51. The Quakers need a 3. They've been hard to come by. Lewis for the tie. No good. Rebound tapped by Cyphers to Burns. Get it across the timeline. Here we go. Taphorn does just that. Wilmington needs a stop now. Timeout called by Coach Jeffers. No official can hear her. And we got one. Woo! Coach Jeffers signaled for that timeout, and with 2 officials, one was on the near side of the court, the other one was under the basket, so no one could hear her. And the entire Capital bench ended up screaming timeout. They don't have a full timeout left, so it's going to be another 30. 55.1 seconds left, 17 seconds on the shot clock. Both teams' next foul would send the other team to the free throw line in the double bonus. Taphorn gets across the timeline. 10 to shoot on the shot clock. It's a screen, kick out, Burns for three, it's good! Emma Burns with a clutch shot. Timeout called by Wilmington. And Capital gets a big-time shot, 57-51. A full timeout called by Wilmington. We'll be right back.
This is a message for all those MBA seekers out there. For the junior exec who'd rather be senior. For the VP yearning to be CEO. And for everyone who'd call their job not just a profession, but a passion. Capital University's MBA program was built exclusively for professionals, experienced faculty, flexible schedules, and classmates you'll soon consider colleagues. Learn more at capital.edu/MBA. The Capital University MBA, for those driven to do more.
Army ROTC is one of the best leadership courses in the country and can be a part of your college curriculum. As a potential or current student at Capital University, learning to become a leader will make your college experience even richer and prepare you for the future. Capital Army ROTC can provide scholarships and many more benefits to those who enroll, but the biggest benefit will be experienced firsthand after joining. For more information on Capital Army ROTC, testimonials, and an in-depth look at what the program can offer you, go to www.capital.edu/ROTC.
(57-51). Emma Burns with the huge three to give Capital a 6-point lead with just, again, 41 seconds left. Lewis on the right wing forces up a three. It's blocked by Linder. Cyphers comes away with it. Timeout called by Coach Jeffers to avoid Cyphers from being fouled. That's a really good timeout by Coach Jeffers. She can now set up who she wants out there on the floor for the free throw situation. One timeout remains for each side. 57-51. Capital looks like they're going to be on their way to their first victory in this building. Like I said, about 359 days, I think, is what the math comes out to. Looking at some scores around the OAC, John Carroll all over Baldwin Wallace, 62-39. Ohio Northern 87, Heidelberg 59, Marietta 91, Muskingum 67. Some blowouts around the OAC today. Mount Union defeated Otterbein 79-73. So Capital can gain some ground here, though. With a win over Wilmington, they both pull to 500. Otterbein will fall back to 500. And Baldwin Wallace falls back to 500. And all of a sudden, Capital's in the conversation for a top 2 or 3 seed in the OAC. That's how quickly things can change in a truncated season. 57-51. Taphorn to the line to try to salt this game away. She just probably needs one to give Capital that 3-possession lead.
At the line for Capital 20, Caroline Taphorn.
Taphorn misses and slaps the floor. 4 for 7 at the free throw line, and she'll be her toughest critic there. 14 points for Taphorn, 10 rebounds. Three ball from Binkley. Bank shot misses. Linder rebound. Lewis will foul. That's her 5th.
3, Kennedy Lewis, her 5th. The Wilmington substitution will be number 4, Zaria Bailey. At the line for the Crusaders, 22, Erica Linder, shooting 2.
Linder's first free throw is good. 59-51. Linder's had a pretty good day. Knocked down a 3-pointer. She now has 7 points off the bench, and she's kind of playing that 6-man role. Cassidy Bosch kind of role from her younger years. She started as a senior, of course. That is a big foul there at the end of this game. 9-point game, and Cyphers collides with Cook, and hopefully both are okay. Cyphers is going to get to the line. Cyphers with just 3 points in this 2-game set with Wilmington after being named our Crusader of the Week. She's going to be a key player for this Crusaders team. And just kind of an ugly kind of win in this game for Capital. And sometimes you got to win the ugly ones. They scored about the same points as they scored yesterday, 61 points in this game, and they scored 60 yesterday. And the defensive effort and rebounding, the difference, as Coach Jeffers said it would be. They were out-rebounded heavily yesterday, and in this game, they won the rebounding battle. Another missed three for good measure, and that's how this one will come to an end. Capital splits with Wilmington. Emma Burns with a couple clutch threes that Capital can take and build on as a big series with Baldwin Wallace awaits next week. We will step away for the Rusty Bucket post-game show, but first, what if I told you you could take a college course that not only required textbooks, but courage, determination, and a good pair of boots? A course that would lead directly to a career as a leader, not an intern or assistant. Are you ready to become a student and a leader? Then enroll in the Capital University Army ROTC, where you could get a full tuition scholarship and graduate a leader and officer in the United States Army. To learn more, call 614-236-6808 for more information. That again is 614-236-6808, or visit capital.edu/ROTC to learn more information about Capital University Army ROTC. Short break, and we'll come back and wrap things up with the Rusty Bucket postgame show.
Because it's not just a sports bar.
I'm Gary Calico, founder and president of Rusty Bucket. A lot of families build their sports world around the bucket.
It's not just a guy's night out. You can bring your wife, you can bring your kids.
We get a lot of groups in after games.
Great place after the game.
Kids love to come here.
The Rusty Bucket Restaurant and Tavern.
The Rusty Bucket is a proud supporter of the Capital Crusaders. Visit us after the game at 2158 East Main Street and grab life by the bucket.
New vehicles, reliable pre-owned vehicles, top-notch, high-quality service technicians, and friendly, trustworthy sales associates dedicated to customer service. Byers Airport Subaru in Columbus is ready to get you into the vehicle that you were meant for. Stop by to see our selection at 401 North Hamilton Road in Columbus and take a test drive, or call Byers Airport Subaru at 877-265-9695 today. Byers Airport Subaru is a proud supporter of Crusader Athletics. Subaru, confidence in motion.
Welcome into the Rusty Bucket postgame show. Jimmy Bloomfield here with you, wrapping up a long weekend here at the Capitol Center, which ends with 2 W's. The Crusaders, I mentioned, out-rebound Wilmington in this game. In the game yesterday, they were out-rebounded 48-32. And in this game, 41-38, the advantage to Capital. So that shows you the difference all right there. Coach Jeffers says it starts with the glass, and she didn't lie. She, as always, will tell us the truth in her pregame interview, and that focus on the rebounding department obviously translated into the defensive side, where Wilmington shot just 26% and a whopping 3 of 27 from 3 to end this one. Wow. Emma Burns, the player of the game in this one, 2 big-time threes there at the end. The one to put Wilmington behind by 6 when she connected on the three-pointer in the last minute of the game, giving Capital a 57-51 lead. They would go on to win 61-51. Burns had 15 points. She also went 3 of 3 from 3. Her teammates went 1 for 10 from three-point range. Caroline Taphorn had a strong game as well. Double-double, 15 points, 11 rebounds, 5 assists, 2 steals, and just 1 turnover for her as well in 30 minutes played. She played her heart out as well. 8 points from Erica Linder off the bench, led the scoring for the bench mob. Brooke Amert with 6 and 4. 4 points for Allison Roach. Kaylee Cyphers had 4 points and 9 rebounds. And Maddie Dugood had 4 points and 6 rebounds. Had to play because of some foul trouble situation. She also added a steal and 2 blocks in 20 minutes played. So she had a strong performance, the freshman there. So Capital wins 61-51, and with the victory, they move to 2-2 on the season. They move